One of the biggest questions that Fallout fans are asking right now is, will we ever get a remake of Fallout 3 or New Vegas? And I'm guessing you clicked on this video because you want to find out the answer. So, I won't waste your time. When it comes to an official remake made by Bethesda, the answer is most likely no. As of right now, they don't have any plans to remake any of the older Fallout games, and if you hear anything that says otherwise, then it's just a rumor. But in terms of an unofficial remake, the answer is yes. Independent development teams made up of skilled modders have been working on remakes for both Fallout 3 and New Vegas for over 5 years now. That is quite a long time though, and there's still no release dates in sight. So many people are starting to lose faith and question, will these remakes ever be released? Can Bethesda shut them down? And how come Bethesda won't just publish the remakes themselves? And besides, what would be a realistic release date for these big projects? Well, I'll be answering all those questions in this video. So first, let's talk about the remake mods themselves. There's one for every major Fallout game, but the most successful projects by far are the ones for Fallout 3 and New Vegas. The one for Fallout 3 is called Fallout 4 Capital Wasteland, and the one for New Vegas is simply called Fallout 4 New Vegas. These are both separate projects with different teams, by the way, but these two remakes are very similar in that they're completely rebuilding Fallout 3 and New Vegas in Fallout 4's engine. Throughout the years, they've been sharing trailers, gameplay videos, and have even been releasing standalone mods for Fallout 4. It's apparent that both teams have got a big chunk of progress done. Like, these remakes are far from mere pipe dreams that don't have anything to show for it. Last year, the Capital Wasteland team released the entire Point Lookout DLC as a mod for Fallout 4. Seriously, you can play a portion of the Fallout 3 remake right now. And my goodness, it is absolutely amazing. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought this was made by an official studio. These guys know what they're doing, so there's no need to worry about quality issues. That same team also released the Project Mojave mod, which adds in a small chunk of New Vegas' world space to Fallout 4. But that's about it though. There's not much to do, and the Capital Wasteland team doesn't plan on releasing any future updates for it. As of right now, that is. It is kind of confusing that the Fallout 3 team would make this, when there's already another team working on New Vegas, but hey, it is cool to have it. As for the New Vegas team, they don't have any world spaces or DLCs for us to explore just yet, but they have been releasing plenty of individual mods that we can have fun with in Fallout 4. Despite not being paid a dime, both these teams have made tons of progress, but these are unofficial remakes after all, so there is no guarantee they'll be finished, and some people are worried they may get shut down by Bethesda. But more importantly, you know which game doesn't require a remake or a remaster because it's already a masterpiece? That's right, Hyper Fever. Critics say it's the most mobilest game of all mobile games. You can build your unique character from Nacho Libre to cute anime waifu. Then you can play offline online solitaire. It's literally the best FPS city builder ever made. And then you can do the Candy Crush with the dancing avocado. Okay, I can't take this anymore. Hyper Fever isn't real, guys. It can't hurt you. Besides, I would never accept a sponsor from such a silly mobile game like that. So that's why today's video is actually sponsored Raid Shadow Legends. If you want some balls to the walls mobile game action, then Raid Shadow Legends is the game for you, my friend. You know what I really like about Raid? It just tickles that part of my monkey brain which really enjoys flashy moves, crispy sound effects, and big numbers. Plus, the character designs are freaking awesome. Like, oh my gosh, literally every champion is absolutely dripped out head to toe. And you won't want to miss out on your chance to get ahead with the limited time Dragon Egg Hunt event. Should you find the famed Dragon Egg, you'll have a chance at winning some insane prizes, both in-game rewards and real-life money, all the way up to $20,000. So, when your friends ask you how you could afford that $4,000 gaming PC, tell them it's because you play Raid Shadow Legends. You best not dilly-dally around. The event ends on May 15th, so make sure to visit egghunt.plarium.com before time runs out. If you haven't already installed Raid Shadow Legends, then now is the perfect time. You can use my link in the description or scan my custom QR code to unlock a special starter pack that will grant you in-game bonuses, along with the legendary champion, Talia. Come on, don't act like you don't want it. Once you're in-game, you can add me by the username BrandyBoy420. I better see you out there on the battlefield, soldier. Anyway, big thanks to Raid for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back into it. So as I was saying, people are worried that these fan-made remakes won't ever get released. Some are even afraid that they may get terminated by Bethesda, and in 2018, the Capital Wasteland project almost was. Only a short while after they started development, Bethesda threatened to shut down the project due to copyright infringement, not because they were trying to remake Fallout 3, but because they wanted to reuse the voice lines. Turns out, you can't do that. It's illegal. So it was either they discontinue the project or carry on with all new voice actors. You can guess which one they picked. The same goes for the New Vegas remake. They'll be using all new voice actors too. And don't worry, the voice actors aren't using Turtle Beach headsets to record. It's actually pretty damn good. So if any of y'all were wondering, no, Bethesda is not going to shut down either of these projects. They are well aware of both of these remakes, and some folks at Bethesda are even cheering them on. The only issue arises when they try to reuse voice lines from contracted voice actors, because that's not Bethesda's work. It belongs to the individual voice actors. I think. I don't know. Does it look like I'm an expert on copyright law? Anyway, bottom line is that Bethesda is perfectly fine with these unofficial remakes, so long as the voice lines are remade too. The way I see it, the only way these projects are going to be shut down is if Bethesda ends up hiring all the modders to join their studio. Seriously, these projects are so impressive that Bethesda is straight up hiring the modders to work with them instead. Last year, Bethesda scooped up the 2 lead developers from the Capital Wasteland team. Sadly though, their talents are being wasted on Fallout 76. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad these modders, or excuse me, official developers now, are getting paid for their work. They definitely deserve it. But that also means the most skilled developers have been diverted from the Fallout 3 remake, and as a result, it has hindered their progress. After the 2 lead developers left, progress on the Fallout 3 remake almost came to a complete halt. Things were looking grim once again. But don't worry, because just the other day, the new lead developers gave an update saying that they're back up and running, along with new recruits to fill in. A similar case has happened with the New Vegas remake as well, but not quite as severe. They didn't lose their project lead, but they did have to say goodbye to several developers who left to work for Bethesda or other gaming studios. Overall though, it didn't hinder their progress all that much. Despite all the setbacks, both these teams are still going strong. And to make sure, I even asked the lead developers from both teams, and they confirmed. Everyone on their teams are determined to get the remakes done. And I believe in these guys 100%. Well, I suppose I can't say that. Maybe 99.9%, because there's always the slight chance that things could go awry. Volunteer projects like this can be unpredictable after all. Progress is not linear, so it is likely there will be more delays and obstacles in the future. So that begs the question, why won't Bethesda just hire all of these guys to work on the remakes? Things would be so much smoother if that was the case, right? Well, not all of these modders are looking to get hired. And, like I said, Bethesda doesn't have any plans for a remake, so that's why. But if they did, then it would be a win-win scenario. The modders get paid for their work gets done faster, Bethesda makes big money, and the fans get to enjoy playing their favorite Fallout games with modern graphics and mechanics. But no, instead, they'd rather waste all that talent on Fallout 76, which is honestly a terrible business decision. Like, come on, who plays this game still? It's been dead for years. And I seriously doubt it's profitable to keep it on life support. If the higher-ups knew what they were doing, they would let Fallout 76 die, and then use that development team to work on something that the fanbase actually wants. You know, like Fallout 5, or possibly some Fallout remakes. That would be cool. Besides, half the work is already done. If they integrated the work of those modders into the official studio, then I bet these remakes could be done in a couple years. I have no clue how that would work, but what I do know is that these modders simply can't work 40 hours a week on these passion projects. For most of them, it's just a side hobby, so realistically, they can only spend a few hours. Some of the more dedicated ones, perhaps a bit more. Overall though, it'll take them much longer to fully develop these remakes when compared to an official gaming studio. If you look at another fan-made Bethesda remake project like Sky Oblivion, well, that thing has been in development for 11 years now, and it just recently got an official release date set for 2025. If that holds up, then that means it would have taken them 13 years to remake Oblivion. So, if we apply that same time frame to the Fallout remakes, then they may come out as late as 2030. Even if they're efficient with their time, maybe 2026 or 27 at best. Don't take my word for it though. This is just a guesstimate based on my perception. Neither mod teams have revealed any rough estimates or official release dates. Either way, by the time of release, you'd be playing a remake that is already in need of a remake. Fallout 4's engine would be 10 to 15 years old by then, even by 2015 standards. Fallout 4 was behind its time in terms of gameplay mechanics. So, at that point, is it even worth waiting that long to play a remake on an already dated engine? Well, that's up to you. It would certainly be a nice upgrade from Fallout 3's clunky engine though, that's for sure. But please, don't hold your breath waiting on these remakes to be released. They aren't coming out next year, or the year after that. It'll take a while. And for all you console players, well, I'm very sorry to say, but it's literally impossible for these remake mods to run on console. So even if or when these remakes get released, a huge chunk of the fanbase won't be able to play them. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but usually console players make up the majority of the player base. Sure, they can always go back and play the older games as they are, but those games don't have mod support on console. And let's be real, these games are tough to play without mods. So to answer the question, will the Fallout 3 and New Vegas remakes ever be released? On consoles? No. Not unless Bethesda makes it. But on PC? Well, even though there is no guarantee, I certainly believe so. It's evident that these modders are capable of finishing the job, and they seem determined to do so. So I would totally bet money in their favor. And if I'm wrong, then I'll wear a maid dress for my face reveal. Both these teams have already made tons of progress, and my goodness, it's beautiful. It just may take them another 5 years or so to finish it. Even if for any reason at all these remakes end up getting cancelled, not all is lost because we can still enjoy the individual mods they released for Fallout 4. No doubt, these remake projects are incredible and deserve tons of praise, but ultimately, I do think it's better for everyone that we get an official remake instead. You know, mostly because we can't leave our console brethren hanging like that. It's painfully obvious the fans want Fallout remakes, but as usual, these big companies are completely out of touch with their fanbase. If Todd actually leveled up his intelligence stat and the higher-ups at Bethesda caught a clue, then they would work with the community to get these remakes officially published. All the while, the main team could focus on making new ones. It would certainly help them score brownie points with the fans and restore their reputation after how badly they mucked up Fallout 76. Do I think that would actually happen though? Not really. It's highly unlikely, but it would be the ideal scenario. Plus, if they gave it an updated engine like the one they're using for Starfield, it would be even better. Mind you, it would just be a continuation of Bethesda's infamous creation engine, but it'd be an upgrade nonetheless. But knowing Bethesda, they would probably figure out a way to screw things up anyway. So, you know what? Maybe I'd rather leave it to the modders to give us a faithful remake. Either that, or Bethesda could contract it out to someone else. I don't know, man. It just hurts my brain as to why they won't capitalize on this golden opportunity. We'll just have to wait and see what happens though, because right now, the fan-made remakes are our only hope, and it's going to take a while for them to finish their work. If you so happen to have some game development skills and would like to speed up the process by joining either team, then you certainly can. I'll leave links to their socials down below. But for now, if you're on PC, don't be afraid to boot up the older Fallout games and play them as they are. And by that, I mean play them with a bunch of mods installed. I just got back into playing New Vegas myself a couple weeks ago, and my goodness, it surprised me just how crazy good the mods are now. Some of these are even more advanced than the stuff you see in Fallout 4. There's still plenty of jank though, there ain't much fixing that. So it would definitely be nice to have a 2025 version of New Vegas. But I must admit, there is a charm to these older titles that you can't properly replicate with a remake. The story and dialogue is as good as ever too. All you need really is some new graphics and gameplay mods to make it a more enjoyable experience. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some very important business to attend to.
Vestal reporting for duty. Please assume the position.